Yeah, probably just as good as this one here.
We're over here getting our drinks ready. I hope you're in a comfortable position to listen to the Puff Drink Talk podcast on this Sunday morning in beautiful Austin, Texas. It's cold, it's rainy, but the coffee is hot and the conversation is going, and we're all comfortable. Conrad here.
Hilton.
George.
Sean.
But Sean's our special guest today.
Hello, Sean.
Hi, I'm special.
Welcome, man. Yeah.
My mom told me that for most of my life.
Being tested. I know.
No, Sean's a good friend.
Oh, well, thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just considered you an acquaintance. Just kidding.
No, I like Sean. He's a great
telling
guy.
me the same thing. I never understand that.
You guys are all a bunch of assholes. You know that? It's the last podcast for Conrad. See you guys later.
We are replacing.
You're not a quitter.
Yeah.
You're not a quitter.
Yeah. Nope, never quit in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Oh, nope, this coffee's terrible.
Is it?
I'm going back to the...
Is it?
I like Pilão. Give me
Is that what you're sipping on, Pilão?
No.
Oh.
This is also not that great. It's like a fruit flavors in that one.
God, this is very interesting. I love this coffee. This is very interesting. It's got a blueberry flavor.
It's super strong on purpose. The other one is not that strong, right? So it's going to be the same. The Colombia ones.
These are the Colombia ones?
That's why it's not.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the, I would say, from 1 to 7, I would say this is a 4 in terms of quality. What
I
you
like
can
it.
get.
It's very fruity.
Yeah, it's
very
pretty
fruity.
good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's how you can if you can just percolate right. This is what you get for a cheap, relatively cheap coffee.
No, it's good. I just have a question. I know in Africa, I know Sean brought it up. He said that there's that cat that will poop out the coffee beans. Are these Colombian beans from like Maduro's asshole, or
No. It's not.
an extra little spice of communism right there?
Yeah.
That's good.
I really don't know. I
You don't like it, Sean? No,
Yeah.
not a fan.
It's like beer when they like Blue Moon. It's the orange peel flavor. It's not beer anymore. It's just
you see, man.
Okay, how many White Claws did you have last night?
yeah, but that's not a beer.
Oh,
a
that's
White
true.
Claw is designed to taste like a White Claw.
Yeah, that is
Beer
true.
is meant to taste like a beer.
Oh, okay, all right, I get what you're saying.
I like it. Yeah, it's
Like
honest.
dark, robust, almost earthy, muddy coffee. That's what I like.
Straight
Like
from the
a
source.
French roast.
No, I have tried to only drink Brazilian coffee. Same grind. The grounds are like super fine, very dark and rich.
All right.
Yeah, powerful.
And I think every time I bring coffee here, I said the same. Like different folks, different strokes. And it doesn't matter.
I was
There's
gonna
no
say
good
that.
and bad.
because
Huh?
That's what
George.
George always says.
Yes.
Different folks.
Right,
different
because
strokes.
they say, oh, no, man, you drink what you like it.
Yeah, do you? That's yeah.
You know,
Like-
there's no, every time, right, do you agree with me? Like, I think this is being my line with
I would
you
say
on this.
normally the way George makes the coffee, it's almost like a tea every time. It became a coffee thing after all the gourmetization of coffee, right? Because before it was just like, hey, just put some hot water in there and boom,
Yeah.
like in Starbucks, that you really don't taste anything from the coffee, and then after all of these different techniques and whatnot to do coffee, it's almost like brewing a tea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then you start getting new nuances about coffees and stuff.
It's funny because you just described the 3 waves of coffee. Like, not knowing, you describe like what the 3 waves of coffee are. Just like a pure coffee a century ago, doing in your, like in cloth and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Then
That's great.
Right, exactly. And then it came the Starbuckses of life, the McDonald's who would have it, whatever.
Terrible
and
stuff.
then came the specialty coffee. basically paying attention to the whole logistics, the whole process until we get to your cup. You can follow it. You can check on the. If you pick up here, if you don't mind. Yeah, like you have the QR code. It's gonna tell you where he was, how long he spent. He spent in the port. All the logistics, how it was allocated, if it was kept accordingly to the certain criteria, and then it gets to you. I'm okay to pay $2, $3 more in a bag if I can pretend I can believe it. It's some suspension of disbelief sometimes, but I want to believe that. And then if you see the QR in there, then you can track. That's what makes single origin, different criteria, better coffee or worse coffee. But
I have a feeling I know George's answer to this question. But in a pinch, you're not at home, and you're just craving a cup of coffee. And you're like, I got to be somewhere in the next 20 minutes. Where's your go-to stop to grab a cup of coffee?
But I can choose within this 20 minutes?
Yeah, but it's got to be like a on your way from your house.
Because I know I mapped all the ones in the whole
I know exactly.
Austin area, Texas area.
Yes.
So
Probably, I'm gonna say Lamppost Coffee.
yeah, of course, I would go to Lamppost for sure. Lamppost
No,
today.
you gotta go-
This is Lamppost. This is like a special. They just won a competition in San Diego, a global competition. Lamppost is one of the best in the world today. Like I know the owner from he opens his first store in Georgetown. The second store was
This is downtown Round Rock.
it wasn't downtown. It wasn't. What is the other one? The other Lamppost
On
was the second one.
620.
Well, there's a
Right.
driver's license. A driver's
Yeah,
license
it's
school.
it's on 620
Yeah.
over here, very close to the Chisholm Trail High School.
Oh,
It was a tiny store. Then he started putting games in there, and then it's like he just bought the other property on the side. Just during COVID, like 2019 to 2020, he doubled the size. Even though he had doubled down on that, he survived, and then he opened downtown. He's opening in Dallas. He's opening in different places now. It's
I
like
didn't know any of this. I thought
Yeah.
there was only one
it's
place.
Lamppost is like they are now in Texas. They are the man. Like really, they are the best place I think to go. Yeah, of course it comes with a price. So do you
there we
understand?
go.
Do you understand? Like I would map that. I wouldn't. We went to Nashville. We took a trip 2,000 miles driving Nashville and back. Yeah, went to Houston, New Orleans, Graceland, Memphis, then Nashville, then Hot Springs, and then Dallas, then you get back.
My goodness.
And then I mapped all the cities before we went, to know where the best places. We mapped that. So, but if I had to go, man, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't because I have.
And I knew that was going to be your answer.
Because I won't drink coffee after 1.
Really?
I won't drink. Yeah, but
That's because you're a gaucho, right?
Yeah,
You
'cause
drink the tea.
Yeah, because I wake up.
The cup of tea. Is
yeah,
that what you?
yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
machi,
machi,
yeah,
yeah.
machi. The accent's perfect. No, it's just that because I've been waking up at 5, so I take one at 6, one at 9, and one at 1, and that's it. So I break,
wow.
Start early, and then
Put sugar in yours?
No. You
I
gotta,
like you already.
You got to see this one here. You got to see. You see this. You see later. You clean it. I actually clean the pellet and throw it away.
Sean, just give me your coffee.
Yeah.
Pour yours into mine.
And that one later, yeah, it's gonna be good.
Hey, I'd like to know who is Sean. I mean, to introduce to the viewers on our podcast.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of fun.
Talk about coffee.
Yeah,
Getting excited over.
yeah, cool. So, tell us about you, man.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met this big guy over here at a mutual friend, Sean and Igor's house.
Yes.
Every year they do a big birthday party for one of themselves. Both of them at different times, different birthdays. And I had seen him, and then he told me he was in the Marine Corps, and so I was like, oh, and then we just started chatting about the military. So, yeah, that's how we met.
We watched a guy put himself on fire. We laughed because we kind of egged him on.
So I have a habit of. So what I used to like to do is I could drink a decent amount, especially when I was younger, and so I would always buy shots of usually like Rumpelmans or Bacardi 151. So it's really like powerful stuff, and then I get myself a little something less, sometimes just a shot of water, and I'd share it around and get people to tell me just terrible things about themselves, right? And so whenever we'd go to Igor's house, I would get the 151 and start pouring shots for everyone, and then I would drink the water. And so, yeah, one person in particular decided he wanted to keep drinking and then started lighting the 151 shots on fire, but they were in plastic cups. So the plastic started melting, and then it fell on his arm, and he's sitting there. And then it falls on the table, and then the table's on fire. Well, it burns out quickly, but it was just, I think that was essentially when we were like, I like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember looking over at Sean, I'm like,
How can you forget that, man?
well, I was like, Sean, like, what are you doing egging him on? He's like, I just told him, like, it would be funny. And I'm like, God, I like this guy already. Like, yeah, that's what you got to do.
It took it was like 3 hours of them drinking this stuff. And they're like, wait, you're not having any shots. And I was like, I don't want any. They're like, no, that's not fair. I was like, we're all grown men here. Like, what do you mean? Like, peer pressure. I'm like, if you don't want to drink it, don't drink it. You said you wanted it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Sean and I both were like stone cold sober, watching everyone else fall over. We're like, we'll get you more drinks.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I have a beer.
Brutal honesty is the best.
Yeah.
It's,
Crude is right there. You know, like you see the person through.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, I wish I was there on that day.
I think you were inside playing music.
No, I didn't
Yes,
see.
he was. You were playing the guitar. This was like a couple years ago.
I remember when it was, then. But I don't remember the fire going or something.
Oh man,
like
you
that.
missed it.
It was not like a huge fire. It was just the liquor kind of caught on fire, and then it dissipates within like 15 seconds anyway.
Yeah.
But it was on his arm. It was pretty funny.
I don't know why they decided to start lighting the plastic glasses on fire. I'm just sitting here like microtoxins or microplastics because they're drinking straight up like melted plastic.
That's beyond microplastic.
Yes.
That's just plastic.
I
You're
just-
Plastic,
What
yeah.
is going on here? But it's fun to watch. I was like, this is like,
Yeah, they
watching
survived. They survived.
Yeah.
You're
They-
okay.
they
it's,
shoot.
fun. It's fun because they survived.
As far as we know, yeah.
Maybe they wanted to shit in containers, you know. It's ready for an exam, you know what I mean? It's like,
They just shit out a Ziploc bag.
Man, this
Jeez.
cigar with the coffee, it's perfect.
It's
It's
great.
sweet.
It's great. Yeah. 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 So that's how we met.
Yeah, that was fun. It was and then our daughters. I didn't know this, but our daughters were doing gymnastics I didn't take the kids. My wife usually takes the kids everywhere. But then one day I saw him at gymnastics, and I was like, interesting. And then we found out his daughter and my two daughters do gymnastics at the same place. And I think for 3 years we kept saying, "Hey, like, let's hang out, let's hang out, let's hang out." And we would always just a year would go by, we'd be at Sean or Igor's party.
yeah.
Be like, dude, we gotta hang out. And then a year would go by, it's like, hey, we said we were gonna hang out. So then I think finally when we were at gymnastics together, it was like, let's actually hang out once,
Yeah.
which we did.
Yeah, when Brazilians say, and Conrad is almost Brazilian now. But when Brazilians say, like, hey, let's hang out, it means like I'll never see you again. You know?
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
And we live close to each other. It's like we're like what 5 miles from each other, just right down the
it's
street.
like less than 10-minute drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
But,
Everyone's
that's,
busy.
But that's how it is.
Yeah, we're
That's how
always
it is.
busy.
I mean, you get busy and then you don't get to see the other person. you
Yeah.
know, ever. If you don't put that on a calendar kind of thing, you know, when some people are like, hey, let's hang out. Well, yes, when?
Yeah, see, that's smart.
And then you pull up a calendar. Well, I don't know. Well, no. Let's do it now because if I don't put that on my calendar, nothing's happening.
But here's also another problem.
Huh.
We've got kids and we have wives. So when we say like, "Oh yeah, let's go drinking, let's go hang out this weekend,"
Well, no.
our wives come in and they're like, "What the fuck you talking about, dude? You're supposed to clean the gutters this day." It's like, son of a bitch. All right, Sean, we can't hang out, dude. Sorry.
I'm always trying to go to his house. He has this fridge tucked away in like the corner in the middle of his house, and it's just always stacked full of beer. And I'm like, this is great. Like, I don't know, come over all the time.
Dude, last time he came over, I gave him like all my Guinness and a whole bunch of other
I
stuff. I'm
snuck
like,
some out of my pockets.
oh yeah,
It's like, thanks, man.
no. And speaking of, my refrigerator's full again, and I'm not drinking, so you need to come over and
Well, I'm
help
trying
me
not to
finish
drink.
it.
I've
Knock that
stopped
off.
drinking during the week and only drink on the weekend. And I guess what I found out is that's still not good for you. but I feel like I'm still cutting the consumption overall. Like, I can only if I.
It's
I,
3 units per week.
Yeah.
That's just the healthy amount.
I don't know what 3 units to me doesn't make sense. I don't even know what that means.
3 beers.
Oh goodness, yeah, that's terrible. That's just like getting started.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
breakfast.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
terrible.
There's some more coffee here.
Exactly. That's the problem, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, my doctor said the same. Hey, 3 units per week, that's fine. That's healthy. So 3 units is going to be like 3 beers, 3 glasses of wine, probably 1 double shot of whiskey. That's it.
Could you just save it up for like the whole month and then you just one day you just go hard?
You wish.
That's why I like going to Brazil. I feel like the beers there, like Original Skol, they're very light and
Like Miller Lite.
levity. But like, I also found out they use corn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't know. I could and they're just great on the beach. You just sit there. I could drink like 50 of those things,
Yeah.
And nothing
and
happens. to
nothing.
you.
And like you're feeling good, but like I'm not. And yeah, I drink the beer here, and I'm just like, oh man, I feel bloated. I'm like, you can even see like every time I drink, I get fat in the face, fatter.
Yeah.
It happens.
Correct. All right. Yeah. This is what people also compare about the food in the U.S. versus the food
Somewhere
in
else,
Europe,
yeah.
in Europe,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Like pasta, like the carbohydrates and how the composition of several products, right?
Maha, gotta
yeah.
make America healthy again.
Yeah.
But there's all. Sorry, I do this with him when we are at gymnastics class. But there's this huge wave of like, oh, like there's all this stuff in our food and it's bad, which is not untrue. But if you look historically, humans have lived very short lives comparatively, right? Like people would die. I mean, 2,000 years ago, you wouldn't even name your kids when they were born because the probability they would die was so high. You're just like,
Yeah.
you'll wait till they're a little older. I mean, it's kind of revolutionary that in the United States, and then, I mean, it kind of pushes to many other places of like kind of enriching rice, cereal, and enriching it with like certain types of nutrients so people don't starve to death.
Water with electrolytes.
Yeah, like simple things. Like so, and then now it's like, well, like oh, this stuff also is causing people to like have cancer, maybe. I mean, there's so many factors. I don't know how they do it, but even if it's the food, getting cancer at like 70 and saying, well, it's because you ate the like processed wheat that we've like made or bioengineered. It's like, yeah, but like, if we didn't do this, the chances are you probably would have never been born because like people just died from malnutrition because there was not like enough food for
That's a
everyone.
really interesting perspective, I guess. I never even really thought of it that way.
Counterbalance the because we always have a story. We always have our biases. So we want to, depending on what I want to tell the story, I will value this, I will hide that. This insincerity, academic insincerity, it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
And that it's political, that's academical. Man, inside the universities, it's the same thing, So it's,
Sean's got
it's
a
all about
first-hand
politics.
Sean's got a first-hand experience with all of what you just said.
Yeah.
At his time at Stanford. You want to
There's-
get into that?
Yeah. So I'm a near high school like dropout. 9/11 happened. I was a freshman, and then we invade Iraq. I think that was my junior year. And so I was essentially, even before that, I was like, I'm going to go in the military. And I was a pretty, like, I did well on standardized tests, but I wasn't like, I'm not like a very, very bright guy. I knew like very bright people. And so after my last deployment to Afghanistan in 2013, I was like, I'm going to go back. I was like, I need to do something. I'm going to go back to school. So I ended up applying all over, ended up getting admitted to Stanford, went there, did my undergrad there, and I met some amazing, very bright like people, both student-wise. Like, there's some really bright people, and then there's some really dumb people. I realized, man, I'm not that dumb. And you guys go to Stanford. and also I was like a decade older than most of the kids I was in class with. But then I stuck around and did a master's degree, a 2-year master's degree program in international policy, and there was a econometrics type course, and it was so fascinating. So the guys teaching it were like one of them is a very well respected scholar, and the other guy he worked at Uber for a while, but he was like I want to go back to academia. It's like savant style with like statistics, and I came from this like kind of the researchers. The scholars say this, and like they did the research, they did the data analysis. Like trust them, and I'm a skeptic naturally, and so I've always been like, and that thing is really hard to turn off. So like so many times I would be researching to write a paper, like do a presentation, and I would just spend so much time like trying to find let's see if somebody can counter argue this. So I'm always looking for like the counter argument. And I just waste all this time, and then I still don't have a conclusion because there's like, what's the truth? I'm looking for the truth, but like everybody's saying something different. And so these two guys are teaching this class, like the statistics-based econometrics class, and it is so advanced. I was just like, I like this Korean kids next to me, really great guys. The one of them, sorry, I'm kind of digressing here. But his name's Ken Wong, and he goes by Eric Na. And so I had Korean neighbors that lived with us. They had a child that was the same age as my daughter. And so I said, I have a Korean kid in my program. He's so cool. They're like, what's his name? I was like, Ken Wong. And they're like, Ken Wong Na? And I was like, you know him? They're like, everyone knows him. And I was like, is he like famous? They're like, he tested #1 in Korea. He's like the smartest person. And like there's these standardized tests. Then I learned there's this huge underbelly that goes on where like the #1 person, the family of the second kid will kill that kid. So like their kids will. This is like nuts. But so this kid,
Game of Thrones.
This is my realm now. I know about the Korean. It's a fact. It's an industry. It's gigantic. All the tests. Oh my goodness! It's like they spend like $20,000-$30,000 a year preparing this. In Korea, think about what 30,000 can buy in Korea.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah,
he's the most like calm, nicest. Like I have a friend that worked with him at Google, and he's just like, you wouldn't. Someone that's smart, I would just assume would kind of be a jerk or wouldn't have jerk tendencies. None at all. The kindest person, and so the only reason I got through the statistics like curriculum was because he would spend hours at night explaining stuff, and I'm just looking at his letters, weird things. Like I'm like, why are there letters? I was like, what's going on? Anyways, just saying, it was very advanced, and I was struggling. But these two guys, they're not teachers, like they're researchers, so they're like excellent at what they do. And I just remember we'd be sitting in class, and they were like, hey, what do you guys want to like look at? Like, give us some research, and you guys will dig into it. So somebody brought up something, and they essentially just start tearing apart research that's published, like accepted, whether it's research on climate change or I guess global warming. It was something on like cars in like India. But essentially what they were trying eventually what they explained to me is, hey, like at the end of the day, all this stuff is easily manipulated. And if you really do believe you want to trust the people that are publishing this, that's on you. But they say it's like academic dishonesty is like one of the biggest problems that you have to deal with. And so they've seen where people are publishing data, and then you go in and then you're like, well, why are you controlling for this variable, like out of the blue? Doesn't make sense. And then as soon as they put it back in, all of a sudden it changes everything. And it's like, and then it started clicking to me. It's like, these are the guys, they do this same stuff. They do the research, they publish it, right? They're calling out their peers for being dishonest. And I was like, oh man, now I can't even trust. Like when I'm reading this, I need to, and this is what they kind of said is, this class is meant to teach you how to use tools like R and essentially go get the data yourself. So if you're reading something on whatever you believe in and they're saying, hey, the data supports it, go get the data and see exactly like the raw data. And you actually can do all the interrogation of that data yourself and draw your own conclusions. Maybe it's the same conclusion, but you start noticing you start controlling for certain variables or you add a different variable in. all of a sudden it changes the outcome completely. And I was just like, oh, I didn't. So as a skeptic, after this class, I was just like, oh my God, now I can't, like, whenever someone's like, the data says this, I'm like, fuck off. Like the data.
They're the scientific mind.
This is the short here, okay? The thing is, the thing about this is that hedge language is not sexy. That's it. You know, like if you start throwing like significantly, and then you try to explain. You see, our attention span is like 3 seconds. If you start saying something and then you start using adverbs, throwing adverbs there, you know, verbs of order, you know, like people will lose attention, and you always have an angle.
Yeah,
that's the
Always
thing.
have an angle.
How can we start building? Maybe starting even here. Why not? We have to start looking for the center, man. We have to always start looking for the center again.
Black and white truth.
And you know, and englobing everyone. If it's good, let's embrace it. If it's good,
Yeah.
if we have guardrails, let's embrace it, because this is silly. Because we can't trust numbers now. Now, in statistics, I can say anything, man. You always find several mistakes. That's why the academia is one of the worst environments that there is. People never speak about that, but the academia is horrible.
Well, some of the academics don't even know how to do like data analysis either. So I'd see these like professors at Stanford doing like social science, like humanities, social science areas, so a little softer. But like so much of what they publish now, you have to have evidence, you got to do the analysis, right? And I remember going to a presentation by someone in the political science department, and it was about something in South America, and they did their presentation. They're showing the data, and they're like explaining it. And there was this like postdoc fellow named Eric, very bright kid. He's like a year younger than me. But anyways, he was just like, like can you give us the data? And it was like, and then so he starts asking very pointed questions, like, you know, which variable did you use here, and like why are you and this teacher got so flustered, and because she didn't know, she's like, I hire people to do this. Like, these are students are doing the data analysis. They give me the results. And then, so how do you know it's right? And so for me, it's like, that's even scarier. It's like you have certain people doing it.
The teacher doesn't know, is getting somebody else to do it, and then when it's going to teach about
outsourcing.
If he gets a question, they don't know the answer because they haven't experienced the experiment.
Yeah, and the worst part is, I think, watching and this is like, these are like peers, I guess, and so this is like essentially prior to publishing. This is all like in the military we call it a murder board. Essentially, you put your ideas up and you just let people start trying to hack away at it. Like, that stinks. What if you did this, right? So the murder board is like you're getting murdered on what you put. But the whole point is the final process at the end of that will be much better. And so as these people are trying to hack away at this professor's research, she gets mad and then starts attacking them. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Because like I'm just like, I like don't expect this from like respected professors and like all these smart people. And I was just like, and I remember afterwards I went to Eric. I was like, how did you know that? And he's like, this happens all the time. He's like, the problem is she's going to publish this. Someone's going to call her out on it, and she's going to get, like, they're just going to say you're dishonest. So he's like, I'd rather do it now. She's my peer. But she was so upset that he was like calling her out in public. But it wasn't even in public. It was still like a closed room for only academics and people at the university who are sitting. She chose to do this presentation.
The ego, man.
Oh, it's crazy.
This is one of the most egoistic place that I know.
Yeah.
It is really tough. I know a lot of people, a lot of friends, and friends that are professors here in the U.S.
Gentlemen, we gotta put a stop to this.
Yes.
Wrap up this episode. For anyone listening, stay tuned for part 2 and probably part 3 and 4, because this is gonna take a while to get through all of this stuff. But we got a cigar review to do. Stay tuned for that, and keep listening to the Puff Drink Talk podcast for more riveting conversations. We'll be right back.